Hello everyone. I've been thinking that the chances of my video going viral abroad are equal to the chances of them going viral in my own home country, because the chances are zero. But since it's equal, I decided that I should dub it into English as well. So you might be thinking, what is this video of terribly edited video of a guy with a heavy accent who barely knows the language trying to explain a video game to me? What is this? Well, let me explain. I've been studying Unreal Engine for several months now, and even though I've been trying a lot of different stuff with it, I never really got to finish a project, so I decided, well, maybe if I had some sort of responsibility to report on the progress to an audience of absolutely no one, well, maybe if I had such goal, maybe I would be able to motivate myself to go on and actually finish a project. So in this video, I would like to present to you my Unreal Engine project, which is a boomer shooter, kinda boomer shooter, I don't know. Yeah, made in Unreal Engine. So let me share my plans and requirements for the first release of the game, so-called version 0.1, which will be extremely basic, essential mechanics that are really easy to make, to add into a video game. So let me share those requirements. As for mechanics, there I should probably add a movement system, which includes walking, jumping, crouching, changing between walk and sprint. It's going to be pretty easy to add those mechanics, considering that Unreal Engine has a movement component of its own, but I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure how much I actually want to use that component, because, well, it's going to be a boomer shooter, right? And not a modern boomer shooter, something closer to like original Doom. Well, not that close to original Doom, maybe something in between modern and original, you know. Nonetheless, original Doom was famous for this little glitch that it actually added movement vectors wrong. It didn't normalize them, which meant that, well, walking diagonally meant that your, what do you call it, strafing and walking speeds actually combined instead of, you know, turning to a diagonal vector. You know what I'm trying to say, probably. So I should probably make my own movement component, but for version 0.1 I'm going to use standard stuff. Maybe by version 0.2 I will actually change something to more similar to Quake 1 or Doom 1. Of course, there's no point in making a boomer shooter if you won't be able to shoot, so I'm also planning to add a weapon system, which will include close range and ranged weapons. Weapon classes should have functions for attacking, probably reloads, and probably aiming down sights, which, well, let me explain. The game I'm trying to make will be something more similar to Brutal Doom rather than any other boomer shooters. And while Brutal Doom kinda, well, you can disagree on this one, but kinda tried to keep that soul of original Doom, it also had weapon reloads and ADS. So, you know, I kinda want to copy that. Even though some would say that Brutal Doom is not a boomer shooter, but neither is Doom 2016, but for some reason people refer to it that way. So yeah, weapons will have reloads and feature to aim down sights, which probably won't affect the accuracy. I will just add it because I like firearms, and, you know, aiming down sights just feels right. Of course, you will have several weapon types, and you will be able to change between them. Even though you'll still probably only have one firearm in the version 01, and I even know what kind of firearm that will be, but yes, I'm not gonna spoil it right now. Yeah, even though there will be only one firearm for version 01, I will start working on several weapon types for hit scans, for projectiles, all that stuff. And also the version 01 will feature pretty simple damage system. Even though I think that the video game will have some sort of damage zone system that, well, when you damage a certain zone on a character, it actually, shows some sort of damage on their model. I will probably try to make that, but not in version 01. In version 01, it will be just a variable that represents health points of the character. What do I achieve? What do I want to achieve in terms of visuals in the first version of the game? Well, I definitely want to make the model for the protagonist, the first-person view model for the protagonist, which will just consist out of his arms and the weapon he currently uses. I don't really see a point in adding like detailed body and legs for the character. It's a cool visual feature to have, but it's also a huge pain in the ass to add. So yeah, the first-person view model will be really simple. A model for that weapon type that I'm planning to finish before 01. Several animations for it being equipped, for it being fired, for it being reloaded. Models for cartridges that you're going to load into that weapon, all of that. That's actually more work that I planned initially for the visuals, but it's the same reason why I'm making this video. It's just easier to track progress when it's something that you can it's something that you can see in action, not just code. And as for sounds, again, pretty simple. Sounds for steps, jumps, gunshots, and reloading animations. Yeah, those were the requirements for my video game that I want to start developing this month. And by the end of the month, I'm planning to release another devlog, and in it, I will share what have I achieved so far. You might be asking, well, what exactly is this game going to be like? So I would like to share my thoughts on that. Well, it's kind of like a boomer shooter. Again, I'm not sure if I want to classify that way because it will be more akin to Brutal Doom than classical Doom. But it will be essentially a game about Spec Ops engaging zombies and scary monsters. The game itself is not going to be scary, just kind of like Stalker or poster for that you see here is actually from a video game called Paranoia, which is like a Half-Life mod, kind of similar to that. Dark and moody atmosphere, but it's all in favor of a pretty fast-paced, fun video game, not some sort of horror adventure or something like that. Also, Paranoia is a really good example because it's exactly the kind of aesthetic I'm going for. It probably won't be some kind of remake because I'm not in contact with the developers of the original, and I don't really want to develop a remake for Paranoia, especially considering that the art style will probably be something similar to PS1 type video games, without polygon jittering caused by lack of floating points in PlayStation 1, but low poly, low res textures, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's not going to be a remake of some video game or mod like Paranoia for Half-Life, but it will definitely be inspired by such video games. Yeah, so kind of like brutal doom type video game set in some sort of facility where you play as a special forces guy dealing with zombies, and it will look like PS1 low poly mess. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that I had to say about the project that I want to develop now. Um, I'm probably not going to edit this video. I'm not even sure if I'm going to release it, but if I did release it, please write something. I don't know. If you have any advices for beginner Unreal devs, I will gladly take them. I might share my exact code by DevLog 01 or whatever version the game will be at during the next devlog. I will probably call it 001 because I'm not sure if I'll be able to make everything by the end of the month. But by the end of the month, I will make another video, and I hope that I will be able to show something to you, and you can criticize that, and I will grind myself into sleep by next month. Yeah.